can see my show. All right. Welcome to the Braid Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Ethena. Thank you for joining me on this cold Tuesday night. If you are here in Atlanta, it is actually cold. Getting there. So yeah, that's what's going on. So it's Tuesday. This is officially our fourth show. So we're really excited about that. Thank you all thank you, Hassan. I appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching me, sending me some gifts over there on TikTok. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to get started. Tonight's show is reserved for Ethena's Playpen. And some of you all know from my podcast that was on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Ethena's Playpen is about love, relationships, monogamy, all those wonderful things that are set to enhance our lives. But tonight, we're talking about braiders in love with that N word, and that is the narcissist. Some of you all have been there. Some of you all have not. If you have not, be happy that you have not. But some of us, especially some of us stylists, have been there. So just to give you a rundown of what we're doing tonight, we're talking about narcissists. We're talking about being a braider in love with one. And I want you to make sure that you are listening and making sure that you're also not one. Okay. Next, we're going to go over 5 things. Okay. That you can do when you're tired to still get your groove on, loving when you are tired after a long day at the shop, which I promise you all I would research. So stay tuned for that. And then finally, we're going over my new book. It's called The Bay. It is available on Amazon, but I'm going to be reading you the prelude and also chapter 1. It's erotica. And for those of you who do not know what erotica is, it is for adults. So here's my disclaimer. Anyone on here that is over or under 18, go ahead and exit. This is going to be an adult show tonight. Shout out to all of my people on TikTok. I see all the likes and love that I'm getting there. I really appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah, we got the lights turned down here at the studio at WMRR Radio. We are turning down the lights and let's get started. So I want to start with a story. Let's say you go to a used car lot. You see all of these cars, right? They all appeal to you and you pick one. And when you pick it, you love it. It looks good. It feels good. It drives good. It's everything that you want, right? All right, fine. So it's exactly what you want. It's your dream car. You are just going down the road. The air is flying through your hair. Like, oh, the wind's in you're just, everything's perfect. Then on down the road a little bit, you start feeling some bumps, where you start kind of feeling like, what was that sound? Or, okay, what was that? And you may start kind of saying, "Ooh, I don't really like how this seat feels anymore." And, "Ooh, I don't really like the color of this anymore. This isn't really exactly what I wanted." Then you're going down the same road and you decide to kind of turn, make a U-turn and take your car back to the dealership. And then when you get to the dealership, you tell the salesman who you just finished telling that the car that you now have is your dream car. Okay. You tell him that you don't like it anymore, maybe because you heard a sound when you were going down the road and you were not expecting to hear that sound. and the color isn't exactly doing what you thought it was going to do for you. After you just told the salesman the exact color that you wanted and burst into tears, jumping up and down in excitement that it's exactly what you wanted. Unfortunately, that is kind of the life cycle of being quote unquote loved by a narcissist. Now I know that narcissist is the buzzword now, and everybody's an expert on it and all that, and there's so many videos and blah blah blah. But the truth is, it's a real thing. And so I want to go over the phases of it so you can recognize it. And I'm going to be inserting some real life personal stories. I'm going to be inserting some stories that I've heard from clients, friends of mine, because in our profession, we have issues that other people with normal jobs may not have. Okay. So let's start with the cycle of narcissism, the narcissistic cycle. Cycle 1 is what I call the spotlight. This is when the narcissist person is on the showroom floor and they see what they want. Or so they're on the showroom floor and they see you, or they meet you out in public somewhere, or they're introduced to you by a friend. And it's like when they see you, it's almost love at first sight. It's this like crazy infatuation, sort of. So normally when this happens, you are just exactly what they've been wanting, dreaming of. They're just like, oh my gosh, you are just the one, and I love you, and you're the person of my dreams, and I can't get enough of you. And they can't keep their hands off of you. They literally cannot keep their hands off of you. So in this phase, they make you feel like you are the most important person in the world. Like you're the most beautiful, like you're the smartest, like you're the greatest, like you are just it. It's like, oh my goodness, I thought all these years I was never going to find love. And then here's this person and they love me so much and they see me so well. And then normally the sex starts. And normally the sex is like, okay, we have to do something else. Like we have to go to work, we have to eat, we have to go to the bathroom, we got to take a shower, like we got to do something else, okay? So and the thing is, when you get in there and you're in the spotlight phase, phase 1, the person, first of all, let's back up. My analogy was at a car lot. Which means, what do you do at the car lot? You walk around, you look, you smell, you feel, you may even test drive a few. By the time the narcissist gets to you, they've already done that. They have decided to pick you out. They have decided that you're the person that they're going to shoot their shot on. And the reason is because they probably saw your heart. They probably see that you're genuine. And they feel like they could probably say the right few things to make you fall in love with them. I'm going to say that one again. They have scoped you out to the point where they think that they could say the right things to make you fall in love with them, not them actually falling in love with you. Like, okay, so there we're already wrong. So that's going to be like phase 1, spotlight, where they're idolizing you and you are just the most important, special person in the world. This one I can speak from experience. I dated a narcissist once, way back many moons ago. And when I tell you, I felt like I was the most beautiful woman in his world, like ever, that he had ever seen, that I was just perfect, that I was just so smart and blah, blah, blah. And he just made me feel like, oh, like Like I was his other half, better half. Like, oh, he had just been sitting there waiting on me all these years. Okay. So that's going to be your first kind of red flag. And I'm using the term red flag because people who have, first of all, let me also say it's an actual illness. It's not just a buzzword, funny thing to just say, and ooh, isn't that cute? It's an actual illness. It's diagnosable. So please think about that when you start having these feelings. Now, about the red flag thing, these people are so clever and they have watched you and they prey on people with your personality type. They know how to make you feel so good that the red flag is orange. It's not actually a red flag. And then when other people in your world see it and try to tell you, you will defend the person. Even though there's something kind of tapping, oh, maybe they are right. Maybe I do. No, they come back and they reassure you. And it's everyday hounding. I love you. You're the best. You're so wonderful. Oh, I wouldn't have made it without you. And please don't even get me started if the person feels like you can rescue them out of their situation. Then you're like the king or queen. You're it. Okay. This is that spotlight stage. Spotlight's on you, and all they're doing is reeling you in, reeling you in. Now, for us braiders, here's the issue. A lot of times we make our money by the day. So there can be like 3 or 4 days where you have no clients. And then there could be that 1 or 2 days where you are coming home with a couple $1,000s after 2 or 3 days of work. If the narcissist does not make that type of money as quickly, which they probably don't, they may have a great job, they may have all of that, but they cannot get up in the morning, go to work, and come back home with, I don't know, 500 cash dollars right here. And tomorrow they're going to have another five. At first, they make you feel like you are just the smartest person in the world. You are so talented. You are just the most talented person in the world. They can't live without you. And then they'll start making plans with you and your money. Not their money, your money. But at this point, they have convinced you in the spotlight phase that all of your eyes are now we. Oh, I love you so much. Oh, we should just be, we should be doing this. We should be doing that. When you may not necessarily be ready to commit to a we, but because they spotlighted you so much and they've made you feel like you are just the answer to their prayers, you go along with it. So, braiders, I'm telling you, keep your mouth shut about how much money you make. Shut up. It's nobody else's business. If you meet someone that falls madly in love with you, that should be a warning. Let the person get to know you a little bit. Get to know them. If someone is on you like a rabbit, like they've never had sex before, that's where I'm from, that's called a clue. Watch, why are they doing that? Why? Like really, why? Okay? And keep your mouth shut about how much money you make. That's a private thing, and that needs to be shared with someone who, once you realize they're not a narcissist, then maybe we can talk about that. Okay? But if the braid boss loves you, I need you to keep braiding. We have lots and lots and lots of hair to braid. Keep your mouth closed about how much money you make and what you do and how talented you are. That normally is turned around against you. Let's talk about phase 2. Phase 2 is de-evaluation, or what I call technical difficulties. This is when all of your smarts and all of your creativity and all of maybe you're like a really fast braider, or you do a great job, or you do, good transformations, or you get up in the morning and that's your thing, or maybe you take late night. appointments and that's your thing, or whatever your thing is that they loved so much in the beginning, now starts to have technical difficulties. I'm going to give you some examples. They're going to start nitpicking. And I'm giving you clues. If this is you in that relationship, listen. Phase 2, they start giving you clues, nitpicking. Oh, I wish you didn't get up in the morning because I really like it when we stay in bed longer. And you leave me in the morning and I don't really like that. The first thing that's going to come to mind is, but you knew that I take 4 o'clock in the morning appointments when you met me. Why is it all of a sudden a problem now? That's what you're going to be thinking. But your heart is going to be so overwhelmed with how much they love you, you wouldn't dare say it. So, and the next thing is you may not be as smart as they put on that you were when you first met, right? So now maybe it's why are you wearing that? And you may be like, why am I wearing my smock that I always wear to the shop? Because this is what I wear. And it's always a question that you can't answer. It's always like this weird, why is the sky blue kind of question? Okay. Be careful here. The technical difficulty stage normally presents as if you're no longer meeting the person's needs. Now, that can be financial needs. For me, as a, as a female braider, I am heterosexual, so I like men. So when I was dating a man in this particular narcissistic relationship that I was in, thank God I am no longer in, that was the thing with me. I was no longer meeting his needs. And the type of woman I am, oh, here, what do? We turn it on. And there are men that are in the same situation where she says, oh, now you're no longer meeting my needs. And now you just turn it up. And it's because the type of person that we are. We want we want success. We want to be loved and we want to love. Once you start getting the vibes that you're no longer meeting the person's needs, run. Because how can you tell me that you love me because I work so hard and then turn around and tell me that I work too hard? Now you're getting at my core. You're starting to turn the knobs and change who I am as a person. The same person that you were madly in love with. So what happened? And these things will present like questions you cannot answer. So what you do is you start trying to compensate for the one you love and then also for yourself. The problem is you're working against your own self. And this is the definition of losing yourself. Sometimes your friends will say, hey, you kind of losing yourself, aren't you? Or why are you letting him change you? Or why are you letting her change you? And we're always defend, oh, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are. That's what that means. That's what it looks like when you're starting to compensate. But you can't really not go in because your narcissistic boyfriend doesn't really produce the same amount that you're producing. And let's, God forbid, if you're not, pulling the weight there, then what's going to happen? But then if you do go, you're going to have to endure this argument that is coming. Okay. So that's going to be phase 2, the evaluation, technical difficulties. Phase 3 is what I call the throwaway phase. At this point, you feel like you have done everything that you can do. You feel like you have gone the extra mile. You have gone 5 extra miles. You are now training for a marathon. You are on eggshells. You are doing everything that the person wants you to do. I'm going to tell y'all a It's funny now. It wasn't funny at the time, but I'm going to tell y'all a story about when I was in a narcissistic relationship during the throwaway phase. So this particular person um, was in the music industry, and I have been in the beauty industry for a long time, and that's what I was doing. So this person would tell me that I had the success that I had because of my ancestors who paved the way for me, and I should denounce them and feel sorry for him and give him basically what I'm doing, stop what I'm doing with my business and give 100% of my attention to his business because I had ancestors who also had businesses on my side and he did not. So yeah, that's one of those weirdo moments when you can't answer it. It doesn't make sense. And then you try to I remember trying to be like, but if we're on the same team and we are together, why that should be a positive thing, right? Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. Be careful once you get to the throwaway phase because that's what you are going to feel like they're doing to you. I just got to take a minute here and say, give a shout out to my viewers on TikTok. I really appreciate all of you all for joining and watching. Thank you very much. Getting a lot of love from over there. So thank you all for watching. All right. Getting back to the throwaway. Pay attention. You are not being thrown away. Braiders, this will affect how you do your clients. It will affect your conversation. It will affect how the turnout of the hair that you're doing. Once you have that narcissist on you and they're in your head, every braid that you do, you'll be thinking, oh my gosh, would he like this one? Oh my gosh, let me hurry up and finish. I have another story for you. So the narcissist that I was dating used to want to be on video with me all the time. And it was because he thought that I was doing something and I wasn't where I was, I guess, when I said I was there, which is weird. So it got to the point where I said, you know what? I'm just going to turn the camera on while I'm working and you can just be on video right here on FaceTime while I'm doing my client. Would you like that? Will that calm you down? Will you believe that I'm here now? Don't let it get to that point, braiders. Nobody is worth you feeling like you got to turn your camera on to prove where you are and what you're doing. All of that is control. That's all they want is control. Be careful. The throwaway. Thank you. Thank you very much from TikTok. I appreciate the gifts. I really do. Thank you. That's just control. That's just control. And it will affect your work. You want somebody on your team that really loves you. That brings me to phase 4, which I call the rebound. Normally during the throwaway phase, they go ahead and throw you away. But let me tell you, please be smart. I was able to get out of those situations twice in a narcissist situation during the throwaway phase when I decided, you know what, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to sit here and be abused anymore because I'm a good woman. I'm smart. I actually am successful and I don't have to deal with this. So before I feel like you're about to throw me away, no, that will never happen. So you got to get a little attitude on you, okay, braiders? Nobody throws you away. You've got plenty of clients. You've got plenty of stuff going on. Do not get sucked in during the throwaway phase. Leave. You're worth it. The next phase is the rebound. This is when they call you back or they start hovering, They'll start hovering around what you're doing, sending messages or tagging you on post. Where it's been silence and all of a sudden now you're getting tagged. Now they're suddenly showing up in circles where you know you are, those kind of things. That's hovering. Normally during the hovering or the rebound phase, you're going to get messages or flowers or all kinds of stuff where, oh, they're so sorry. And they finally have come to their senses, and you're the only person that understands them. So you should just come on back. So the answer to that is no. And remember, my famous words, one of my many famous phrases is no is an answer. Just like yes is an answer. No is an answer. Please do not go back. Do not go backwards to your narcissist. But let me tell you why you want to. You want to because during that spotlight phase, you believed what they said. You were vulnerable. You opened your heart. You told them secrets about yourself. You thought you were sharing special moments. You were being baited only to give what you had emotionally, financially, spiritually, all sorts of things. They were just using you and abusing you. And when they figure out that there's not a better source than you, or when they use up the other source that they got those things from during the throwaway phase, and then they just want you back so they can get more out of you. Say no. Walk away. Don't let anyone abuse you like that. I have had braiders on my team going through several situations like this. I remember one braider, she was with me for a long time, and her boyfriend, he was just so jealous. It was unbelievable. He would come up to the shop and try to get Jazzy up there, even though I didn't play any of that. So he tried it one time and then he never did that again. But the icing on the cake with this particular braider was he wrecked her car, and he wrecked her car at the shop. And the reason why that's important here is because people do things and they tell you who they are. Why didn't he wreck her car if he was going to wreck it? Why didn't he wreck it somewhere else? Why didn't he wreck it on the freeway? Why didn't he drive it into a pole in their neighborhood? He did it at the salon for a reason. For a reason. And I believe it was showing hate to himself and jealousy for her and hate toward her. Braiders, please pay attention. It's not cute in the bed or in the shower or over dinner when the person who loves you so much grabs your hand and tries to twist your fingers. That's a clue. People who love you don't do that. So these are little things that you need to keep in mind. Do an assessment on yourself. Is your person a narcissist? Ask yourself. Ask some questions. Ask your person some questions. Ask yourself some questions. And keep asking. Keep your eyes open. How do you feel? What's going on in the relationship? How did it start? Where is it going? Is there intimacy there? Or is it just what you can do for them? And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get help. Get some help. Talk to somebody. Reach out to me. I am not a medical professional, but been around the block a few times. So we can help. We can help. So I'm going to run down those phases one more time. The spotlight phase. That's the infatuation. Love, 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 love. You're the best thing in the world. Then that first clue that all that stuff the person is saying to you is not true is when you start getting the technical difficulties on the thing that they love so much. Okay. Followed by the throwaway phase, followed by the rebound. Okay, so you're smarter than that. We're not going for that. Okie dokie. Please, if you have some experience with this, or if you have something that you like to share, I would love to hear it. Please send me a message, a DM, either on Facebook or TikTok or on WMRR, or you can send it straight through strandsofbeauty.com, info@strandsofbeauty.com. Send me an email. I would love, love, love to hear from you. Thank you for the gifts I'm getting on TikTok Universe. I appreciate it. Thank you very very much. Please, I love, love, love to hear from you and any of your experiences dealing with a narcissist, or if you think that you're one, what are you going to do to change? Are you thinking about changing? I want to hear from you. Okay. Okie dokie. We're going to follow up on that. Okay. Next, tonight, as promised, I've got 5 ways for you to love after a long day. And braiders, we have some long days. I know I start at 5 a.m. Braiding, and some of us start late nights. Sometimes I know in some other cities that I'm in, like when I'm in Vegas, I'm up late braiding just because it's just a clientele out there. So sometimes it's some late nights. Sometimes we are just exhausted, and people don't realize what standing in one place doing the same movement can do for you. It gets real tiring. So these 5 things I want you to start incorporating, and tell your person that you're tired. Hopefully you are in love with someone and someone is in love with you, so that you can be honest and share what you've got going on. Shout out to my love tonight. Tells, I love you so much. You are such a wonderful man and you always know how to take care of me. So, couple things. These 5 things, I want you to start incorporating them, braiders, into your love life. Some things that you can do when we're tired. Number 1, tell your person they should understand. And ladies, we have to make sure that we are not being dismissive or ugly or tearing our men down. Make sure that you lift your man up when you're saying these things. And I would recommend, don't wait to the moment to say it. Okay. Go ahead and tell him. Sometimes when I'm at the shop and I come home after 7, I'm really tired. Not tonight, but some nights. So that on the night that you are, you can say, hey, remember I've kind of said, like, sometimes I'm kind of tired. This is so I may not want to hang off the chandelier tonight. So, he would have known it. But ladies, please don't tear your man down in the moment. It's just not a good look. So I'm going to start with number 5. Number 5 in my book is cuddle, cuddle, cuddle. Now I know, I know that cuddling is also another buzzword. Oh, we should cuddle, but no, seriously, turn the phone off, turn the music up, and just feel each other breathe. It really is an amazing, intimate exercise. You can get something special that you call it. You don't have to call it cuddling. We have a special word. You can make up something, but have that in your relationship because it makes it special. It gives it your own flavor. It's unique. It also decreases your stress level. And again, if you talk about these things with your person before the moment, they understand you. So it decreases stress. And listening to your person's heartbeat forms a connection. It really does. So when you're cuddling, try to put your ear on your person's chest and just listen. Just listen to them breathe. And when I'm doing that, it makes me think about, I'm important enough for him to be breathing next to me right now and not doing anything else. And every breath, you can't get it back. So, how special is it for your person to be right there with you in that moment, cuddling with you? So, all those things release stress. Also, give some hugs. You don't have to necessarily be in a bed cuddling. Give some hugs. That's another thing that you can do. Number 4, sitting sex. So this is not riding the person. That's not what I said. It's called sitting sex. This is where the man is normally either sitting, or one person is sitting in a chair or on the floor, crisscross applesauce. We all know what that is. And then you can get on top of them. So that's called sitting sex. It relieves stress off your lower back, which a lot of times that's what we need. Now, it might take a little practice, okay? It sounds maybe a little easier than it may actually be. So you may have to practice a little bit. But sitting sex on a floor or in a chair will relieve stress off your lower back, and braiders, we need that sometimes. Number 3 is prioritizing intimacy. I cannot stress this enough. And I think that men miss the boat on this one sometimes. Intimacy for us is like, just lay there and talk to me and ask me how my day was going before you're trying to like get to the sex. If there's intimacy and I actually feel like you really do care, you'll never have to worry about sex again. It'll just be there. I don't know what it is. I think it's just in our makeup. When there's intimacy, when we feel like you're actually listening, not like scrolling through your phone and like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Like nobody likes that. When you actually make time, like, nope, we're about to sit here and talk and I'm going to touch you. I'm going to hold you. I want you to come and sit by me or hold my hand or whatever y'all's flavor is. Prioritize your intimacy because that only fuels everything else that's going on, especially your sex life. For your braider that's been standing there braiding hair all day, not only does it relieve the stress, remember, we've been taking in from clients, listening, solving their problems, really being intimate with the client. So we go home and then like, wow, he's actually willing and able and actually wanting to listen to me. That will bring on a whole host of other things that the man wants. So just that's some free advice. Number 2 is slow down. Slow down. Especially for us that are tired, coming in tired. If we have enough strength to go ahead and have sex, we're making love. And there is a difference, by the way. I'd just like to point that out between having sex and making love, but that'll be on a different show. But there is a difference. But if we're doing it, slow down. It really helps with relieving the stress. Again, making sure that we're not over, that we're already exhausted. And now it's like, you don't want to say no, but you don't want to, be the pest. You don't want to be sitting there looking up like, when is this going to be over with? Slow down. And number 1 is morning sex. Think about doing it in the morning instead of at night after you've been in the salon all day. It'll give you a little bit something else to think about when you're at the shop, and your feet won't hurt so bad when when you get home. So that's something to think about. If you've got something that you want to add, shoot me a message. You all know the drill by now. Send me an email at info@strandsofbeauty.com or DM me on any of our platforms. Thanks again to my TikTok followers. Lots of people joining in, saying hi. I really appreciate you all on there. Facebook, I see you all too, and getting some comments from WMRR. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. All right. We are moving along on this show tonight. I hope you're getting some jewels. I hope I'm able to help. Last but not least, I'm reading from my new book called The Bay. It is self-published, and it is my very, very first book. I have 8 of them, but this is my first. And this one is dear to me because it's completely fiction and based on a figment of my imagination that I think can be she's very relatable on several different levels. We've seen her in the movies, we've seen her on TV. We're going to see her in this book. And I think a little bit of us have a little bit of her in us as well. My books and films are a little bit of erotica and a little bit of suspense. So let's get started. Again, this one is The Bay. I had an early experience. Well, I'll say early for most girls. I mean, looking back, 12 years old is kind of young. The other girls in my class were all playing with Barbies and going to birthday slumber parties. The coolest person in their life was their mom. They had family time and enjoyed summer vacations at the beach, playing arcade games with their siblings. As for me, well, I was getting schooled on how to ride a dick, how to suck a dick, how to fuck. The coolest person in my world was my neighbor, who took a liking to me when she noticed how much I was home alone. She talked grown folks talk around me, and I loved it. She told me and let me see everything, and I was determined to use what I learned. Now that I'm grown and in my prime, I'm an expert in the bedroom, bathroom, backseat, or anywhere else I want it. If I see it, I like it, I hit it and quit it. That was my fun and impulsive life ever since Jaleesa knocked on my door and showed me the ropes those many years ago. I'm a stunner with the men I want. I always turn out to get what I want, and I always leave them begging for more. Chapter 1. Present, says a nice, nasty smirk on my face. I give my bitch boss Jennifer as she walks by my desk. Yes, I'm here, coffee poured, desk neat, and watching the palm trees sway from my 15th floor corner office overlooking downtown San Diego. I said in my mind with my eyes rolling as she passed my office. Today is Monday, and I feel extra sexy because my curls are bouncing just right, and so is my butt. I've been working extra hard, and I needed to be noticed. My girlfriend Pat works out with me, and she's also our receptionist. She's cute too, but she's in love with her man, so we mostly talk about work and him. There is no way she can keep up with me outside of work. So I just normally smile and listen to her and entertain her boring dates. Jennifer, my boss, or should I say the office sheriff, struts around here like she hasn't had any in a long time. Most of the time, just like this morning, she calls herself checking up on me. I mean, this bitch is on my case. And if it were not for me covering her behind, she wouldn't even know what's going on. She has a serious you know what up her you know what. And she needs a good, hard, well, you get the drift. Anyway, I'm on my way to the project manager team, and this one's going to be good. We have to procure a $2 million contract for a private security company. This is the bag. This is going to be important. I'm responsible for finding the best deal on weapons and bulletproof vests for them. Even though I should have a smaller scale, I'm normally the project manager on these boring projects because number one, I'm sexy. It should not be long before I move up in this company. I've been here for 2 years, always early, cute, and they really could not do anything without me. The dream team consists of me, of course, Adam, Jennifer, Jacob, and my boss. Oh, and my boss's boss, Spencer. Spencer can't take his eyes off me. In fact, here he comes over here now. Let's see what he's going to say. That is just a snippet from my new book, The Bay. Let me know what you think. It's a pretty good one, if I have to say so myself. It's available on Amazon under The Bay, under Ethena Profits, where you can read more. You can get your copy. I may read a little bit more about it on the next playpen, but we will see. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you so much for coming on tonight. We had a time, huh? Watch out for those narcissists, and I mean it. Do not be a victim. And if you feel like you are a victim, it's all right. You can always get out. You can walk away. There is love for you out there. There really is someone for you. And they don't have to lie, and you don't have to feel like you're under this false infatuation. It's just real. There's nothing better than being able to just sit quietly in peace without having to perform, without having to talk, without having to be someone that you're not, and just feel like you are loved. So that's tonight's show. Remember, reach out to me on Strands of Beauty. You can get to me email info@strandsofbeauty.com, TikTok, or Facebook. Thanks for listening to The Playpen. We'll be back with a Raid Boss next Tuesday. We'll turn the lights back up and we'll turn them back down for the next playpen. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you all. And until next time, keep braiding. Yeah.